Hi, I'm Lori Keto, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am on a ketogenic diet, and I've been on a diet for 14 months. And before that, I had tried keto and lost weight, but I got scared because of all of the negative things that people are saying about it. And so I went off the diet and gained the weight right back. But I've decided I'm going to give it another try, and so here I am, 14 months into the diet, and I've lost 50 pounds. And when you first go on a ketogenic diet, the weight comes off pretty quickly if you're following it correctly. And the first 4 months, I lost the 50. Then I sort of wavered between a few pounds over the next several months. And over Christmas, I enjoyed some keto treats, and that put on a little bit of water weight, which I was fine with. I expected that. But come January, I decided I really need to break through this stall, and I began troubleshooting. And if you've been following me, you'll know that I've had some struggles with that. And I'm really, really happy to say that I finally broke through the stall. I am doing the happy dance. I am so excited because I've been troubleshooting for 2 months, and there's a lot of well-meaning people and a lot of great information that can help you break through a stall. But what I've really been wrestling with is trying to figure out what was causing mine. And without having a expert in the field, medical expert in the field to consult with personally one-on-one, it's been really, really frustrating because there's a lot of great info out there and a lot of well-meaning people, but when you're trying to troubleshoot and you don't have one-on-one consultation, it can be very, very difficult. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want to share what's worked for me. Do you have to have that kind of help? I don't think so, but it sure can save you a lot of frustration. So I have fortunately had some really, really great people that have been there for me, and I'd like to do some shout outs to them towards the end of this video. It's frustrating, but it's also, I'm very relieved at the same time that I finally figured out what was causing it and what I can do to help myself continue on that level. So if you've been following me, you know that I've tried several things. For the first 2 months, well, I don't know if I even said I had a 6-pound drop. Yay, happy dance. I am so excited. I am just feeling so encouraged now, knowing that this diet can work for me at this level, because I was beginning to think that I was impossible and that my weight just wasn't going to come off. So, whew, so relieved. I'm just thinking where I even want to begin here. So in January, I started with troubleshooting by eliminating too much cream, and cream can cause stalls. I have read enough and I've heard enough from people that too much cream on a ketogenic diet can cause stalls. And I was eating a lot, having a lot of cream, especially in my morning coffee. So I made a change to green tea, which I could get away with only a little bit of cream, and that made it possible for me to enjoy my morning caffeine and something that tastes good. When I say green tea, I mean green matcha tea, real Japanese green tea, not a tea bag that you dunk, but real powdered green tea, which I would like to do a video on in the future if you have an interest in that. But that helped me a lot. But this was back in January. And I actually did notice a 2-pound loss following the introducing the green tea and cutting out the extra cream. But that didn't last very long, and the scale was back up again, and so I started to get discouraged again. Didn't do anything out of the ordinary that would cause a weight gain. It was probably just water fluctuations, but nonetheless, it's discouraging, right? So I did that, and then I decided maybe I need to cut back on calories a little bit. I was doing 15 to 18 at the time. Some would say that's kind of high, being that it worked for me initially. you know, I thought maybe I need to cut back now, and did that. Cut it. What I do? Cut down to 13, 14. Still nothing. So now I've eliminated cream, introduced green tea, and cut calories. Nothing. Other people are saying change your macros, and you know, all this well-meaning, wonderful advice that could actually help you tweak and fine-tune, but it wasn't what I was struggling with. It was causing my stall. So fast forward to the past 2 weeks after I tried everything, and there's probably a whole lot more that I'm not even remembering that I tried everything, and just felt like I was hitting my head against the wall. And intermittent fasting. I started that. I don't think I gave it long enough because I did that for a little while, and then it didn't. I don't really know. I had to go back and look at why it didn't work, but I think my calories were still kind of high. But not really sure about that one. But I got frustrated because I didn't think it was working, but I decided that I'm going to try something different. And I talked to Keto Christina, and I will put a link to her YouTube channel because I've been following her for over a year now, and I've watched her struggle, and I've watched her stall. And I think, if I'm correct, she was on a stall for over a year, or at least a year. And so I contacted her, and I told her that I was going to try, you know, cutting the carbs and fasting, and you know, see where that goes. And she had thought that was a good idea. So she mentioned Dr. Eric Westman. And if you don't know who he is, Dr. Eric Westman is a physician who worked with Dr. Atkins in the early days. And I believe he set off to prove Atkins wrong and ended up becoming a convert. And so now he's, you know, very well known in the field, and he works with people who are very obese and at a clinic. Well, I don't have the money to go and do that, and I think there's like a 6-month waiting list for him, and so I've had to really just kind of troubleshoot on my own. And so Keto Christina had mentioned that Dr. Westman will put his patients on a 10 carbs or less diet, and that sometimes just reducing the carb intake will help you to break through the stall. And so just going on that information, I decided to give it a try. And here's my observations when I first started. I began to feel like I was getting the keto flu again, which really, really surprised me because I've been in ketosis for about 14 months, yeah, since I started. So 14 months of ketosis. I've checked with urine sticks for pretty much that entire time, which always showed me to a light ketosis. I never got anything past that light ketosis. Initially, lost the 50 pounds. It worked. It eventually stopped working. And so since I started cutting back on the carbs, I decided I really need to monitor and to see what my ketones are doing now that I've cut back. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Now that I've cut back, I'm going to kind of watch this for a while and see if I can find that target zone. Do I think that you always have to be watching the numbers and checking ketosis constantly? No, I lost 50 pounds without checking. But at first I had to check because I had to see if what I was doing was getting me into ketosis. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check. Oh no, this is the wrong kit. This is my keto kit. Yeah. I'll do another video on this. I thought that was my glucose monitor because it's the same bag. I have 2 glucose monitors, and this was an extra bag, so I made a keto kit, and I'll do another video on that. So anyway, so I got a Precision Extra glucose monitor, and I began to, oh, I'm shaking the camera here. There we go. I began to monitor, and my ketones began to go up as I cut down on the carbs. So I am currently doing 8 to 10 grams of carb a day. That is net carb. I know that some people, argue total versus net. I was originally counting net, so if I was doing 20, then I was probably eating close to 25, 30 total, maybe more, I don't know. So my carbs were pretty high, and I really wasn't aware of that. But since I'm so used to counting net carbs, I'm going to continue with that and just keep lowering if I have to. So right now I'm doing 8 to 10 carbs, which from 20, 22 and under actually. And trying to keep it under 20, but sometimes I would go up a little bit. So currently, and my ketones are doing well. I'm in the moderate zone now. I am averaging about 0.6 to 1.6, and I've had days as high as 4.5, which that's weird, but I guess it's good. Usually those are on days when I had less carb the day before. Like one day I had bacon and eggs and avocado for my dinner, and then the next day I had a 4.5 or something. So bacon and eggs are great. And so I'm feeling better. So this keto flu, right? So where did that come from? Did I really have a keto flu? Could be. I'm not sure. Could I have not been as fat adapted as I thought I was, even though I was in a light ketosis? Maybe. But I did, as soon as I began doing the intermittent fasting and cutting the carbs, I immediately began to get the brain fog. Now, I've had keto flu. I've been in it a couple of times, so I know what it feels like. I had the brain fog. I had the fatigue. Just feel like I'm walking around like in a fog, like I'm on codeine or something, just, on NyQuil or just something that makes you feel like you're walking around on that sick kind of fog feeling, but not really sick. So I've been kind of feeling like that for a few days. Almost a week I was feeling like this. And then muscle cramps started a couple days later. Now those muscle cramps, I've had those before, and it took me a long time before those went away. And so I know those are definitely a sign of keto flu. So I'm suspecting that it's possible I might actually have been in keto flu, even though I was in ketosis. What's the science out there? I don't know. It's anecdotal, so go figure. I'm just sharing with you what I experienced. Keto Christina had thought that it's possible. And she mentioned that people who change from keto to carnivore go through like a round 2 of the keto flu. So it's very, very much possible that I did experience some keto flu, even moving from ketosis to deeper ketosis. Didn't expect that. I didn't see it coming. It was baffling, but it was also giving me some hope that once I get through this, I might see a weight loss. And I did. I was so excited. 6 pounds. Oh my goodness. It's been a long time coming. So the scale's finally moving. I'm really, really, really happy. But boy, has it been frustrating. And I hope that you don't have to experience what I went through, and that the information that's available out there for people who are obese and don't have just 20, 30, 40 pounds to lose, that it'll become more accessible to them, because I started with Atkins, and I think that Atkins is a great place to start if you don't have a lot of weight to lose. You want to lose maybe 50 pounds. You have a pretty good metabolism, and you want to learn about how keto works, because Atkins is keto. People, I hear all the time, well, Atkins isn't keto. Keto is not a commercial diet. Keto just simply means you're doing a ketogenic diet. You're burning fat for fuel, as opposed to burning carbohydrates for fuel. And that's what the Atkins induction phase is intended to do, to put you in a ketogenic state. And all the information is right there on the Atkins website. You can track your macros there. They give you your macros. You don't have to figure them out. And, for anybody just starting out or doesn't have a lot of weight to lose, it's really a great way to get your head around this whole confusing keto thing. It was wonderful for me in the beginning until, I have over 100 pounds to lose. So, this Dr. Eric Westman, I looked him up, and he said that programs like commercial ketogenic programs are like the over-the-counter weight loss version. And I thought that was kind of a really neat analogy, over the counter. So if I'm really sick and I need more than just cough medicine to get better, going and continuing to take over-the-counter cough medicine isn't going to help me. I'm going to need to go get a stronger prescription strength cough medicine or antibiotics or whatever may be going on that I need something stronger to get better. And it's the same with me with my weight problem. The commercial diets keto diets like Atkins aren't designed for severe obesity. They're designed for people who just want to get some weight off and get back into to the mainstream. That I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. But people who just need to get back on track, and I am just one who's got a lot of weight to lose and a much longer period of time that I need to be on the diet, and so I needed some heavy artillery to really bust through this stall. And for me, that was nothing to do with the macros, not much to do with the calories, not much to do with the nuts and seeds and creams and all of that stuff. Those are all fine tweaks, but that wasn't what my problem was. It was the carbs and adding in intermittent fasting. And so once I did that, the scale finally dropped. And so yes, I need more than just commercial keto. And it's not easy to find this information. Another great place if you are just starting out is the Diet Doctor. They've got just tons and tons of information, a lot of experts in the field. There's videos from Dr. Eric Westman. There are videos from people who have made independent movies, and it's just a wonderful place. You can get all the information on how to get started on keto. Another wonderful place if you're new, because trying to piecemeal this thing will drive you crazy. It's driven me crazy, trying to get to round 2, I guess. The first phase was pretty easy because it was all laid out for me on Atkins. Everything was there, and so it worked for what it was intended to do. But now that I'm at a different level, I needed some heavier, artillery, and so making this change has really helped. I'm hoping to continue with what I'm doing, and that I will continue to see progress. So I'm really excited. I do want to thank Keto Christina for your help in helping me to understand that people like me just need a little bit more in-depth advanced keto, and I'd love to talk with you more about doing a video on advanced keto, because how much information is really out there about it. We're all trying to find basic keto, but troubleshooting advanced keto isn't easy. And Tammy over at Keto and the Chaos, she is just amazing. She has a YouTube channel as well, which I will also link. Now, Tammy, I just saw your post today about how you were in the Women's World magazine for your weight loss, 198 pounds, I think it is. That is just amazing. Both Keto Christina and Tammy have just amazing weight losses. You're both such an awesome inspiration. And I didn't even know that the Women's World was going to do a write-up, so that's really awesome. One kind of really neat thing about that is this magazine here. This is First for Women. This came out around Christmas, and I'll let you see right there in the red shirt. That's Tammy. And then they did a full page spread on her here. You can see that. There she is. She looks amazing. And when this was coming out around Christmas time, I'm just kind of trying to find something here. It was interesting because neither Tammy or I knew that the book that A Chicken Soup for the Soul, you see that? The Wonder of Christmas, Chicken Soup for the Soul, that is also in here. And there's a big write-up on that. And so what's so cool about that is that I have a story in this book. And so at the same time, Tammy and I were both eagerly looking for this magazine on the shelf. And it was just so cool because whoever thought that something that we did would end up both of us in the same magazine. I mean, that's just bizarre. But yeah, so very cool. So The Wonder of Christmas, I have a story, and if you have the book, I am on page 133, and it's called A Musical Gift, and it is a story about my son, who is an autistic savant. And if you're not familiar with that term, autistic savant, is my son is somebody who has autism, but is also musically gifted. He's a musical genius. He's amazing, and I'm just so proud of him. And he is currently in music college. He's at Berklee College of Music, and he's just very gifted. He has a YouTube channel if you want to check him out. He is Zephyr, Z-E-P-H-O-R, Zephyr. You can check him out on YouTube. And so I just thank you guys so much for all your help, and hopefully we can in turn support other people who are in the same position. And you know, keto, it's confusing, but it isn't. And I think what makes it so confusing is that there's so much information out there, and you're trying to sift through it and figure it out for yourself. And you know, one person says one thing, another person says another, and sometimes it just ends up so frustrating you feel like you're hitting your head against the wall, which also gives me an idea for a video, so stay tuned for that. But I thank you all. I thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video and you want to continue to see my progress, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you again. God bless.